What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to another video of my 2024 MLB The Show Mariners CaP franchise series. My name is West Coast. I appreciate you being here. This is the franchise series where we control the Mariners, but we have about 30 to 35 creative players from our Twitch and YouTube community that were also thrust into the series, and we can also watch them grow and see who comes out as the best creative player. This is episode 14, I believe, and we just got through the draft. So if you watched our last video, you know how our draft went. Not great, could be worse. The draft itself was pretty bad with players. I believe 2 drafts ago there were 2 generational talents, so I kind of expected this draft to be pretty poor, and it was not a good one. So this episode will be the rest of the season. We look at the standings there. 60 and 50. We're 9 games out of a playoffs, or the division, actually. However, we are currently in the playoffs by a half game. So we didn't make any trades. We can only make one trade a year. And we chose to not make a trade this year at the deadline because we are in the playoffs and we want to keep it that way. Looking at our lineup, Jamison Cumbest, which is a creative player, as is Fister Furbush. They are in our 1 and 5 spot. Cumbest, 262, not bad. 293 for JP. Somehow this guy continues to hit, even though he's starting to regress. Julio is Julio, of course. Cal Raleigh, dumpers, gave us 17 home runs. I will take his low average as long as he produces with power. Fister's only hitting 220 after winning the Rookie of the Year last year, starting to drop in contact versus right, which is not ideal. Luke Raley, I'll take the 241 as long as he hits the bombs. Dom, okay. Harry Ford is playing very well as our catcher. We did let Garver go. So Harry Ford was going to have to play a lot more, and so far he's doing very well and improving mightily as he's only 23 and should continue to get better. Demo is our first baseman. It is what it is. He's only playing there because we have no other options. We do have an option next year with our first-round pick, Stephen Bowman, who will slide right into this first base position. So Dylan Moore, or rather Michael Chavez here, will not be needed next year. We look at our pitching so far. I mean, we're doing pretty well, 4.15. I wish that was a little lower for Kirby. Logan Gilbert is pitching absolutely incredible. Almost a 1 whip, 3.06 in ERA. Bryce Miller, doing okay too. Brian Wu, doing great as well. Castillo's our 5-star because he got hurt, so he had to be slid back in where he normally was. We've got a 3.48, a 1.29 ERA for La Piedra, the Rock. Clifford Rosales allowed 2 runs in 2 innings. He's our long reliever. We had Hancock there, but he was getting absolutely blasted. So I decided to make a change. Our bullpen, again, our bullpen's not great this year. Munoz is killing it. So is Santos. I'll take Spire. But everyone else is getting lit up. Our bullpen is a problem. That's why we kind of drafted the last couple of years to get some bullpen and try to replenish some of these guys that we just don't need anymore. Whoops. So we are going to finish out the rest of this series here. If we make it to the playoffs, we will probably turn on the scenarios here, the custom game entry. However, we will just watch. We will not play. It's not ideal, and I will edit stuff down during the gameplay if I need to, so we don't have to watch every single pitch. However, that's probably what we'll do throughout these games because I think it's a little more entertaining to do that. So we'll finish off the rest of the Boston series. We do take the loss there. 3 against Oakland. We go to Toronto. Then we go to Boston for a big 9-game homestand. So let's simulate all of that. I will take a 6-3. 6-3. Did I say homestand? I meant on the road. But I will take 6-3 on the road. We win all 3 series, taking 2 of 3 in each one. And that is very, very important. I'm not really worried about the West, and we're not going to get the Astros. But this is where I want to stay, and we're going to have to fend off the Rangers and the Yankees down the stretch. So that's what we're looking to do. We get to come home for 6 real quick. 3 against Kansas City, where we get swept. And our offense is awful. That is not ideal. 4 straight losses to start the homestand. We do finish out with 2 games against Toronto. So the Yankees are starting to fall off a little bit. Rangers are on our heels, and we're looking to catch the Angels too. So down the stretch here, these are going to be some tough games. The Angels, the Rangers, and the Astros, who are at the top of the division, are going to be tough. Hopefully, we can sneak some wins against the crappy Athletics. But this is going to be tough. Back on the road against Tampa for 4, with 20 games above 500. Miami is not very good. 4 on the road. I'm hoping I can go 4-3. I think that's best case scenario here. We lose 3 or 4 to Tampa Bay. But we do sweep the Marlins, so we do go 4-3. Getting that sweep against a very bad team is very, very important. 3 against the Guardians, 4 against the Guardians at home. Real quick before we go back out on the road for a quick 3-game set in St. Louis. We lose 3 of 4 to the Guardians, who are a very bad team, so that's a very bad loss. Not great. We look at the rest of our schedule here. St. Louis is not great. San Diego's not great. Houston's killing it. We're fighting Texas. Colorado's terrible. We're fighting Texas. We're fighting the Angels. We have a tough September. This is going to be a little brutal as we try to navigate through the month of September here. We'll start with St. Louis. They can fix the roster themselves. I don't really care. We take 2 or 3 from St. Louis. Back at home for 6, Padres, and 3 with the Astros. Let's go to here, and then we'll check things out. Good Lord. Swept. 3 straight losses. Our bullpen, man. Munoz, our rock at the back end of that bullpen, gets absolutely shattered. Good Lord, it's a loss we could not have. The Rangers have passed us. We have fallen a half game out of the playoffs. We are struggling down the stretch, and I think it's because of our pitching. It normally is. As we hit our brutal stretch. The only easy team we have left is Colorado. Every other team is a playoff-bound team. This is not looking good. 3 against Houston. We only win 1. 3 more against Texas. We only win 1. And we are now in deep trouble. Deep trouble as we cannot win down the stretch. Our hitters are cold. Cumbest, Crawford, Ford are all cold. We're not scoring runs when nobody has at least 90 RBIs. It means we are struggling a bit offensively. Which we knew this team was going to struggle offensively until I can get it fixed a little bit. The 49-win A's, we do not have them on our schedule in the last month. So that is some bad luck as well. At least we sweep Colorado, which we desperately needed to do. That gives us a fighting chance here. As it looks like the Rays and Orioles are tied, so one of those teams won't factor in. So we're fighting 3 teams in the West. We're fighting with the Rangers and Angels. 2 of them will make the playoffs. 1 will not. Yankees are a non-factor for now unless they roll off a bunch of wins. They're 7 out of their last 10, so maybe they're going to get hot down the stretch here. We will see. 4 against Texas at home. What a giant series this is. We have Bryce Miller, Brian Wu, Castillo, and Kirby. We have the pitching advantage, in theory. See if it works out. We split. I mean, not the worst thing. Our bullpen blows another game in the 9th inning. Munoz again gets absolutely shelled. Those 2 games right there, it's the game of baseball, but those 2 games right there that he wouldn't have or that he could have held on to, we would be 2 games up and in much better position. Instead, we're battling with the Rangers, and the Yankees are staying somewhat hot, and they are only a game out too. So, holy Lord. Holy, holy, holy. Angels for 3. They are 3 games up on us. Reed Detmers, 5.53. Silseth, 4.47. And Blackburn, 5.93. Do not know how the Angels are 85 game winners with starters like that. We take 2 of 3. Not bad. We are dead even with the Rangers. The Yankees have lost 2, so they are pretty much gone. It would take a miracle for them to jump both the Rangers and ourselves. As we go to Minnesota, who has clinched the Central already? I guess they're jockeying for seeding with that 2 seed and that bye. So, still an important game for Minnesota as well. Game 1, Griffin Canning. Oh, their pitchers are much better. Joe Ryan, Griffin Canning, Pablo Lopez. We win game 1, 3-2. 3-2. We get the run in the 11th as our bullpen finally holds firm. Brash, Spire, and Munoz allow 2 hits in 5 innings. No walks, and Munoz gets save 52 on the season. Rangers won, and the Angels won. The Yankees did win, which puts their elimination number down to 1 game. But we continue to be in a battle here. We couldn't hit Pablo Lopez. So we lose 3-1. I mean, we got hits, just couldn't put them through. So we lose 3-1. Let's go check everyone else. The Yankees lost as well, so they are officially eliminated. The Angels have clinched. The Rangers won again, which means they are 1 game up. I wish it was easier to check who had the tiebreaker, but I have checked this in the past, and even if the Rangers do have the tiebreaker, the game does not eliminate us. So if we win and the Rangers lose, we could still be out. I wish that was something that could be improved so we would know. However, it is not. And we are going to have to deal with it. So, final game of the season. We got Logan Gilbert going. They got Joe Ryan. We are on the road looking for win number 86, which is brutal to only have 85 wins and looking to go here. So let's see. We do win, but we do not make the playoffs. Oh, come on, bro. View today's games. Where is Texas? They shut out the A's. Of course, they get the Athletics in the final game of the season. Dane Dunning shuts out the A's. The terrible, terrible A's. And Texas sweeps the A's. We drop 1 to Texas. And that will be the end of our season. 3 straight seasons we have yet to make the playoffs. Little unexpected. We're barely missing the playoffs, which means we're not getting a good draft pick. Absolutely brutal. That sucks. But here's the problem. It's our runs. It is just like the real life Mariners. We pitch pretty well, but we just can't score runs, and that is the issue. We look at the wild card. Runs scored, the Yankees have less than us, the Royals have less than us, but look at everyone else. The Rangers can score, the Angels can score, and so can the Orioles, who can also pitch like crazy. So, we're out again. 87 wins, dropped to 82, back up to 86, but we have yet to miss, or we have yet to make the postseason. Looking at league leaders, we only have one. Logan Gilbert leads the league in WHIP at 1.04, which is very nice. Let's go take a peek at the awards before we sim the rest of the postseason here. Mike Trout is your MVP in the American League. Shane McClanahan wins the Cy Young. Aaron Judge wins the batting title for the third straight year as Julio finishes third. Reliever, we lose out to Class A because of the ERA. Rookie of the Year, Hack Attack does get the Rookie of the Year. We knew that was going to be a runaway, and that is 2 straight years for a creative player taking down the American League Rookie of the Year. This time, it'll be Hack Attack out of Houston. Mike Trout, the Hank Aaron Award. Gold Gloves will roll through pretty quick. Brandon Woodruff, Big Dumper takes the catcher Gold Glove. His first Gold Glove award. Mountcastle for Baltimore. Andres Jimenez for the Guardians. Mikael Garcia, Volpe, Dalton Varsho, Luis Robert Jr., who misses out, who beats out Julio probably because of the 6 more assists. That's kind of a big deal. So Julio does not get the three-peat in the Gold Glove. Brutal. Mickey Moniak in right field. Now we'll go back and look at the NL because it's a lot easier to do that. Shohei Ohtani, no way. No way. Shohei, 16-8, 3.4 ERA, 225 strikeouts. Oh, and he also drove in 140 runs and 37 bombs. Hit 292 and had an OPS just under 1. I mean, come on. Come on. How does he not win every year? Ugh, brutal. Spencer Strider beats Ohtani out for the Cy Young. Bryce Harper wins the batting title. Jonathan Loaizaga wins the reliever of the year for the D-backs. Seth Ross, Nats fan, gets the rookie of the year for the NL. That is a back-to-back in both leagues for the creative players. Hugh Cox last year, Seth Ross, Nats fan this year. Hits 25 bombs and 90 RBIs and hit 293, a stud. Hank Aaron Award, Acuna hits the three-peat for the Braves. Probably more than that, to be honest, but they only show us 3. Sandy Alcantara gets the Gold Glove. Gabby Moreno, Josh Naylor, Bryson Stott, Manny Machado, Dansby Swanson, Verdugo, Pete Crow Armstrong. Yes, he is a Marlin now. Fernando Tatis gets it. So I don't see any creative players here for the National League, which, hey, defense still needs to be worked on. We didn't pump up defense very high. Top prospects, we look at the end of the season. Robert Jones stays at number 2. Roussel jumps to 3, which that may be where he was anyways. Neil Ranger 9. Donnie Savior 10. Howard is 14. Timito 15. Who else is there? I don't see anybody else unless I just completely passed over somebody. So we only have about 6 players that are not already in the major leagues out of all of our creative players, which is very, very nice and much easier to do our reviews with. All right, so let's go see who's going to win the World Series here. To be honest, I already forgot who won it last year. I swear there was an easy way to check here. Achievements. It says World Series title, but it doesn't tell us when they won it. Kind of wish there was another way they would do that. Maybe there is. If you guys know, let me know. But I mean, if I could memorize all of these, that would probably be helpful too. But that's a lot of work, and I don't want to do that. So, hey, if there's an easier way besides just going back in the videos and checking to check who won the World Series, let me know. Let's skip ahead, though, to, let's go a couple weeks from now. Go back. Baltimore takes out the Angels in 3, as does the number 6 Rangers, takes out the AL East champion Rays. And then the number 1 seed Astros sweep the Baltimore Orioles. The number seed number 6 seed Rangers then sweep the AL Central champ Twins, and that sets up an all AL West championship series in the American League. Moving to the National League, it only took 2 games for the D-backs to dispatch of the Reds. Same thing with the Pirates beating the National League Central champion Cubs in 2. Pirates then take the same fate they just gave the Cubs in being swept by the Braves, and then number 1 seed Dodgers dispatch of the D-backs in 4. So we have the 1 and 2 seeds in the National League and the 1 and 6 seeds in the American League. We will sim a week. Houston has a 3-2 lead. Braves, it takes 5 games, and the Dodgers are gone. The number 1 seed is out. Astros are 1. Oh, let's not do that. Astros are 1 game. Texas wins game 6 and forces the series back to Houston for a game 7 that they win. So let's view the games today. 3-1 Houston. Game 7. 2 runs in the 7th inning for the Houston Astros. I'm going to assume it was a Yordan 2-run bomb. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But I'm going to say that it was. You see right there, the brand new cap to this year, the 18-year-old rookie, Kyle Vigneault. 4-11 in the postseason so far. An absolute stud for the Astros. Like they needed more offense. But you see the 6, 8, and 9 hitters are all caps for the Astros. Add that to Tucker, Pena, Yordan, Altuve. Broken. But that's what the caps do. That's what I intended. And that's also why there is a 3 cap limit on these teams. Unless they trade for one, I can't do much about that. But we do have our World Series. It'll be Houston and Atlanta. And Houston quickly out to a 3-1 lead. Atlanta takes game 5. Atlanta takes game 6. And the Braves come back from a 3-1 deficit to beat... Oh, you can't look at the games. Man. To beat the Houston Astros down to their final game in game 5. And they end up winning 5, 6, and 7. And the Atlanta Braves are your World Series champions. Let's go look at this here. Braves. This is just the playoffs. Here. Let's sort by hits because it'll be fun. Michael Harris. Big Papi, which is one of the caps, hit 204 in the World Series. Big Papi gets a ring. And I swear there were 2 creative players on the Atlanta Braves. I'm checking real quick. My apologies. And there is... Oh, Roussel is in AAA still. So Big Papi gets a ring. Beats out the other 3 caps on the Houston Astros to win a World Series ring. But we already saw how good the Astros were. Relief pitchers. Oh my lord. We're going the wrong way. Hack Attack hits 309 in the playoffs. 4 home runs, 16 RBIs. Kyle Vigneault hits 345. And Cody Brever's 274. So 8 home runs and 33 RBIs combined for the 3 caps. I believe that math was right. For the Astros in the World Series. Going to look at the awards now. Gavin Lux gets the MVP for the World Series. Postseason MVP in the American League is Hack Attack, of course, with the rookie Kyle Vigneault right behind him. 4 home runs, 16 RBIs for Hack Attack, and that will get him the postseason MVP. Ozzy Albies takes it for the Braves. So, an interesting series here. An interesting season. is what I meant to say. Let's not look at the caps because we'll look at that later, but let's do JP Crawford. Let's just take a peek and see how things are going. Starting to drop a little bit. Julio, I mean, he can't be at 99 forever. I absolutely hate that he is losing so much of his power. That drives me nuts. We need him to be a 30 home run guy. I mean, I love that his average went up. So that's good. And his strikeouts went down a bunch from 2013. Holy Lord. So I'll take it. But, man. Cal Raleigh's starting to drop a little bit, which is unfortunate as well. Luke Raley is who he is. This one's just straight empty. Okay. Harry Ford, though, we love it. We love to see it for Prince Harry. Did lose some power versus left, lost some steal. Who cares? Better defensively. Better contact versus left. Slowly working his way up better versus right. We need him to be able to play every day as our catcher. That's our goal for Harry, but he's got to get better contact versus right. Demo, his last year being a starter, as we do have the rookie Stephen Bowman coming in. Cole Young's another good one that I wanted to see. We brought him up at 22, and he improved as well as I probably would have hoped for only getting 38 games and 143 at-bats. But again, he's only 22. He will play in the infield with Cumbest and Furbush for a long time. Jack Smith kind of was just a filler, but he's great defensively, so a good defensive replacement. Haggerty probably didn't do much, and Clase, hey, we love to see Clase too. Potential is a C, so I have no idea where his actual potential is, but his overall is improving, so that's all we can say. Pitching rotation. Kirby lost some stamina, which is unfortunate, but gained some hits and Ks per nine, which is nice. Logan Gilbert, same thing, but he gained way more stats. That +5 home runs and the +4 for hits and Ks are gigantic. Bryce Miller, love the +6. Love the +6 and +5. He's still 27. Brian Woo's 26. He unfortunately went the other way. He had a pretty bad year for us. Thank God we have some pitchers coming up. And Luis Castillo, still 33. He's got 2 more years on his contract after this year, starting to regress, but not enough to where it's really going to play a big part. At the end of next year, we'll see where he's at. We might have to make a choice on him as well. Let's go look at our top prospects for just the Mariners here. Howard Talbot, the guy that we just drafted this past year. Man, I really want him to be serviceable, but to be serviceable, we've got to get those hits and Ks up. He is going to get absolutely slaughtered. And they're up 6-5, but he is still far off from playing for us. Corson, 73 overall. We wanted to give him 1 year, and I think we did. We saw pretty good improvements here. Of course, we can't see his stats because why would we be able to see his stats? He will most likely be up in the majors next year. Jumped up to 73. I like it. Zach Clemente, we drafted him a couple years ago. This is also a first baseman that we can jump up. However, he is more of a long-term deal as he was in the 50s as an 18-year-old. So he needs to continue to get better. He will be a stud at some point. Segura, another one of our outfielders. Long-term project. Won't see him for about 3 years, but I like the improvements. Colt Emerson, a real prospect. Probably the outlier here. Although he's only 20. Plenty of time left for him. Is there anybody else that I really want to take a peek at? Hubert Webb here. I mean, I guess I could just do this. Walter Lynn. I like the improvements. He could be serviceable back end or top end AAA. Okay, Hubert. DH and DH alone, his defense is god-awful. So everything he does is just going to be a DH. We'll see how he continues to improve over the next couple years, but 68 overall. He's a B potential. He's got a ways to go. And I like those offensive stats for it. Valencia, got a ways to go. Santiago Reyes, same thing. Valentin Celestine, another real prospect for the Mariners. B potential. Got some ways to go. I like his defense. But the offense has got to be a little bit more serviceable before I can play him up. Montez, this is a guy that I really have an eye on here. I don't remember where he was potential-wise, if he's an 80 or a higher 80 or a mid-80. But I think this dude's going to be able to hit, especially if he keeps doing +7s like that. He does bat left, which is kind of shocking that he's not improving against righties, but what can we say? Donald Reed, maybe up next year, probably not. I want that walk per 9 to be a little higher, and he gained 8 points for it this year, which is a very, very nice. Ramirez, still a place to go. Johnny Farmelo, another real prospect for the Mariners. Only 21, and his potential is going up, which is very nice. Ashton Izzy, no. Moda, Locklear. Okay. Herrera, long-term project. Going to take a bunch of time, but I like that he's still improving. All right. That's our top 20. It's not bad. It's not bad. I wish it could have been better, but what can we say? What can we do? The Mariners, for the third straight season, failed to make the playoffs. But we will continue to do the best that we can with this squad. We will head to the off season. That will be the next video. We'll see what we are going to do with this roster. I don't think we have any creative players to add to season 4. If you are watching this and you want to add your creative player to this franchise series, there is a Google form in the description. Complete that Google form, and we will get your creative player added to the franchise series. Thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate you. Again, my name is West Coast 22. Please like, comment, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell so you know when my videos go live. Thank you for watching, and we will see you on the next one.